I'm just rounding things down and shaping things a little cleaner here. But I had my face going way long ago, you know. You just, this is how much stone I remove. It's nothing. It's just you just take a teaspoon of stone off and you have a face. I'm going to do this again tomorrow.
Okay. I missed the first part.
Yeah, I missed it at the beginning.
Well,
the first part was...
And so I can do it.
Well, I'll do it again right now if people want.
I'll do the muscle at the corner of the mouth. I'm really solid on that puppy.
Okay, let me get another... Carve every one of them. I'll carve them into little sculptures, and even if I sell them for $10, $20, whatnot, it was just my morning exercise. It's coffee money, you know, for that week. Or if a guy comes over and does a little move with a crane, I get out my checkbook and I say, I'll write you a check, or I'll give you this little sculpture. They always take the sculpture.
Love it.
You know? Okay. So you got to come around on this side.
Oh, I got a credit card here. Man, oh man. Where's Tisa?
What's this?
Yeah, I'll take an American Visa card.
Yeah, we don't want to lose that.
So I'm going to come in. I'm going to draw a forehead. I'm going to come out for a nose. Come down a little bit. Come in for a nose. Not as far as my forehead, right? And then you come in out for the upper lip, the lower lip, come in, come out a little bit for chin, and in for your neck. So you just draw a very simple profile. Then I put my chisel right on my lines, right? This is a profile carving, so all the stone on the other side of the line is, you got to take off. All that's got to go. And so unsupported stone, steel on stone on air. That's what you want to do. Unsupported stone comes off real easy. I don't have to go over there and look at it. That's because I'm profile carving, and once I've altered my profile, there is no way it's going to come back and change. This is the largest stone removal in the whole carving of the head. But so when I go into a sculpture and I think I'm going to carve a head someplace, I can go right in with my disc and cut a right angle where I think the head's going to be. Make sure that that marble is perfect. I don't have any blemishes there. I control my right angle. I get it so that I got my center line, basically. I've set up the angle of my head, and there's no way that I can screw up after that. Carve out my profile. And like I say, this bottom part is the biggest hunk that I have to take out. And you won't take off too much, because what happens is the chisel, marble, and stone, you always tend to go out. It's really hard to drive straight through because the stone's there and it pushes your chisel out. So your chances of you taking off too much on the other side is almost nil. So I don't even worry about that. I just stay at this point of view, and I remove stone until I see my line, and it's either stone or background. Stone or background. I want to see, that's the only thing I'm interested in, is that line. Once I get that stone off, then I turn and see what I have. Oh, doesn't look like much, but it doesn't matter to me. Okay. So this is my center line, right? I'm going to move it over a little bit because I want a wider nose. So I'm going to make my center line there. So on either side of my nose, I can go down. And the chisel is, I'm looking behind my chisel when I carve this side of the nose, I'm going this way. And so the chisel is actually protecting the nose. The chisel is like a shield. There's no way I can break off my nose because I'm not pounding on my nose. I'm pounding away from my nose and down the side of it. So all this can go off. And I know that at the base of the nose is where the brow is going to start. So over here, this can go off.
I think I just...
Right?
Okay, I just got my cut.
Now I come down this side of the nose.
I told it to everybody. I called a couple 800 numbers and all that kind of stuff. Thank you. I just realized that I dropped it.
Okay. I come down this side of the nose, and again, my chisel, I'm looking behind my chisel on this side, right? And I leave a little bit for the nostril right there. That's why I scooted that over just a hair, so that I'd have room for that nostril. And then at the base of the nose, I just blast that out. You don't need any of that material. So everything in the face is behind the nostril. This is the key, to get everything behind this point. I mean, not the lips, but all the rest of the face falls back away. So I want to cut in behind my nostrils, get all the way to the back of them. And because I'm up here on top, I can see where the back of the nostril is. You know, and get it well back onto the face. And then I can hold my chisel at like a 45 or 30-degree angle and cut in underneath. Get that bottom of the nose. I'm just sort of indicating things. I don't have to get any closer than this right now. Now I'm going to do the upper lip. So the upper lip is like a seagull. It's flying. And the lower lip comes in here underneath it. And the upper lip is 2 pieces. The lower lip is also 2 pieces. So they're all pieces of the puzzle. And then there's muscles that underneath here, and this thing up above, and there's the top of here, and there's that little muscle that's on this side of the mouth and this side of the mouth. There's all these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 forms that just make up the mouth. And all those forms you need to know. So you come here. You got forms. You know.
Well, thank you, John.
So, you know, now close your mouth. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, they're all over there. Okay.
Good forms.
So the corners of the mouth are behind the nostrils. That's why the nostrils are so important. So if my nostrils are here, I know that my corners of my mouth have to be further deeper into the block and in the middle of the eyes. So if this is my brow, my eye is going to be out here someplace. So I can drop lines down to where the corners of my mouth are going to be, and I know how deep they are. They have to be back in here. and back in here, along that line someplace. So I tip my chisel at an angle to make an undercut, which will cast a shadow. Look, his slips have a shadow.
This lip is all in shadow, so all that has to be undercut. This lip is light. All has to be out in light.
So I tip my chisel at an angle, start at the center. I make the first part of the movement of the seagull, and then I rotate my chisel till it's just the edge of it, and I drive that edge back towards the corner of my mouth. I do the same thing over here, and I drive that edge back into the corner of my mouth, and then I can cut off my bottom lip so that it catches the light. You see how my upper lip is making a shadow and my bottom lip is catching the light. So this can come off, this can come off, back to the corners of the nose, all that can come off. Everything can come off, back to the corners of the nose. Then I do the bottom lip. It also goes into the corner of the mouth. And we can break the bottom and the upper lip into parts and things too. Those three parts of the mouth are there. I leave that little muscle on the side. I leave that little muscle on this side. It's just a little bit of volume there. But it's real important that you leave it. So that the mouth actually tucks. That corner of the mouth is going to tuck underneath that volume. You see how that happens? Just drive that up underneath that volume so that that volume sticks out of the corner. Cut under here, take some of this away. And there's those two shapes, those two paisley-like shapes under here that I can carve. And in the negative shape that's left by those two paisley shapes, and down here, these two shapes that are underneath the lip, that negative shape in there is where the chin sits. So the whole face is a jigsaw puzzle of volumes that all fit together in the puzzle. So down in here is my chin volume. Now I can start going out. And what you're going to see is that only a little piece of the forehead and the cheeks, and maybe these two little muscles are going to be on the surface of the block. And everything else is going to go. So this goes in a little bit. Start digging out that for the eyes. Now, so I come in here for the eye, and I make the first part of the eye thing. The eye thing is in an eye, you have the nose is here. This part is going to be a triangular shaped undercut which catches the shadow. Right in here, this is all going to be undercut. And then you need to have a paisley that fits into that undercut. And that paisley is what women put makeup on. But that's also got to be undercut down. And in the area that's left by these two undercut in the volume that comes out from cutting it, you get the volume of the eye that sits in there. And the eye, the high point of the eye is on the golden mean towards the inside. The low part of the eye is on the golden mean towards the outside, because life on the body always staggers. So you'll never have a high point and a low point next to each other. They'll always be staggered. When you have a kink, a counterpostal pose too, and you have the body bent like this in the torso, you have a V cut on this side. The body does this. It's a V cut. Always opposite of V. Look on the other side of the body. You have a long curve, a U. And this curve will inevitably make into another V, like say at the leg. And over on this curve, then opposite this V, there'll be the hip, which will be a nice long curve. So anytime you got a V on one side, you're going to have a curve on the other. All your muscle structures set up that way. So I can carve the first part of the triangular shape, undercut, so it catches the shadow. And then I carve the paisley, undercut, so it catches the shadow. And as I do that, the volume of the eye comes out. There it is. And this becomes the cheekbone, right? This is coming around the back of the... So I can start my chisel here on the nostril. I'm using the corner. I'm carving the nostril, the back of the nostril. I'm coming around, I'm twisting, still keeping that corner of my chisel in my nostril. Twisting around, coming underneath it, twisting around, and come out. Now I can come this way. I lay my chisel underneath the nose, carve this way towards it, lay on the upper lip, go underneath the nose. My chisel's this corner of my chisel is staying in the groove of the nostril. The other part of my chisel is laying on the upper lip. And I'm carving up the cheek, around behind the nose. Keep pushing around behind the nose. Push, stop. And the more I push that back just a little bit, I start to form the cheek. All this starts forming cheek. And I get into the corner of the nostril again. This is cheek, this is cheek. This is cheekbone. This is your cheekbones. I can start going into the block because that's this profile of the face. Okay, so now I can go into the cheekbones here. I'm plunging into the block because I don't need this material out here anymore. So, and then this will be the jawline, right? And so even this gets taken in there because your cheekbone is wider than everything else, so all this is coming in. And you'll see at the end that there'll be just a little spot of this cut stone right here and maybe a little spot right above the eye. And like I said, maybe a little spot right on this muscle, maybe a little spot right here on the side of the chin. Because all these areas are just right on the surface of what it is I'm carving. And as I pass that spot, I'm going to be plunging in again and going around the side of the head. So all this. I have to carve the other side, but so you're barely taking any stone off. Once you get that first stone removal of the front profile, the rest of the stone that you're taking off is just a few grains of stone here and there, but the whole face comes out.
Very cool.
And because not taking off very much stone, when I go to set up my face, I can cut those right angles with my disc, make sure I have nice clean stone, no blemishes, everything's set up. I only taken off a few teaspoons, so I know I'm not going to come into any surprises or anything like that. And every face is going to be good stone, correct layout, and you won't have any trouble. Open the eye here. Take all that volume off. So you create a shadow for the, and then drop the eye in there. And then the eyelid underneath is an undercut. It has to catch a shadow.
Yeah, why don't we go talk to her?
Should be carving both sides of the face. Anyway, you get the idea.
There we go.
So you see how I am leaving that little muscle is still on the surface of the block, but and then a little bit of that cheekbone is going to be on the surface of the block, but just a little bit. This is a spot of it.
So, you'll have your first
See?
This alone is not the price we paid. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah. When doing the pupil, do you like a positive or negative?
The Greeks left them like this.
Yeah.
Because they painted them.
Right.
I go ahead and carve a negative.
Negative?
Because the eye is just a lie. It's just an optical illusion. Underneath my chin and carve out that little paisley underneath there. And really make it a nice little volume. Just go right around the edge of it, you see. Make that a nice little volume. And this comes up and it comes. That corner of the chisel just does the bottom of the lip into the corner of the mouth. Yep. You see? And it stops just shy of taking off that volume of that little muscle.
Lane, we're gonna put a pink block on after this and have you demonstrate too.
You know, and this the volume of the cheek actually does come out from that little muscle, but it doesn't interfere with the volume of the cheekbone, which is going back towards the skull, towards the, you know, it's the housing of the eye. It's protecting the eye, so that volume goes towards the back, while the cheek volume goes down towards the front. And, you know, and that leaves sort of a hollowness in here, underneath the cheekbone. And as I come in here, that pulls the cheek out more, you see? And it comes down and unites with those volumes down there that hook up with the jawbone. And everything turns into a whole. And only here now at the end maybe will I get rid of some of those surfaces, but I'm right. Carve that chin a little bit better.
Yeah, that's good. I struggle.
So that by the time I'm getting in here, you see how I've had to go in half an inch in order to pull the jaw a little narrower than the cheekbones. But it's minuscule. It's minuscule amount of stone.
You haven't taken much off there at all.
No, And then as you refine it and get it cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. You know, like I said, there's another little volume under here. Just a tiny little volume. Leave that little bag under the eye. I don't have to take off much to leave a little volume there. Right? And then I can round this down. And before I know it, I got a nice little volume of a bag under the eye.
It's so subtle when you
It's
get
so
done.
subtle. You see, everything that's happening in the face is happening in the last eighth of an inch. So go ahead and get your planes cut. Make sure your marble's good or your stone's good. Set it all up so you can't fail. And then do it. To open the mouth, I got to make the cheeks wider. You know, because you can do this more, right? So to bring out cheek, I'm going to have to go in deeper. Right? And then their mouth goes up when you smile, you know, and things like that. It moves up, so I can raise this, and I can get skinnier because things get drawn out. So I'll raise this up a little bit on this side too, and skinnier. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop.
There goes his face.
No, because I'm going to come in under the lip, and I'm going to find some teeth in here. And as I find the teeth and get inside there, I get new upper lip, no bottom lip, I mean. See, as I'm going in, I'm gaining material. And let's open it up a little bit more. You know, and then I will recarve that bottom lip. You can get inside the mouth a little bit more. And then pretty soon I can start carving teeth.
Oh my God.
Right?
Absolutely dynamite.
Probably did that. Now watch this. I'm going to close that eye again. It's opened. I'm going to just go in deeper and close it. Leave a little bit of eyelashes down there. See, leave a little eyelash right there. Yeah. Now you can open them again.
Pretty soon,
Pretty soon you'll run out. He'll be a drag out with his black legs, but
With a really big nose.
yeah, but you can